welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiki. Today's video is the last video in my holiday series. I hope you guys have really enjoyed that. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at PlentifulKiki. I do post a lot of food and recipe ideas there that I don't have videos for here, so make sure you check me out there as well. So today's video I'm really excited about. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this super easy and super delicious double chocolate mug cake. I'm going to show you guys how to make it gluten-free as well. And this recipe is actually in my Plentifully Lean weight loss guide and cookbook in the cravings section. And the only thing I'm changing is the amounts we're making it in, because in the book it makes 2 servings. And I'm going to show you guys how to make this mug cake into these little single serving sizes. So I am going to be making this recipe available for free on my website. I will link everything for you guys below. And then for a more whole foods type dessert, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these delicious Snickers bites that I think you guys are really going to love. All right, let's get making some Christmas desserts. Alright, so for these double chocolate mug cakes, it could not be simpler. What I love is that you can assemble them all ahead of time, and then when you're ready for dessert, you just add the final 2 ingredients, mix them up, and pop them in the microwave. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to make the regular ones first, and then I'll show you how to make the gluten-free ones. So we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of just regular all-purpose flour. If you wanted to use whole wheat, you could definitely do that as well. I'm gonna make 2 to show you guys. Now I'm just gonna add 1 tablespoon of unrefined cane sugar. You could use coconut sugar if you prefer, but I have not tried using maple syrup or anything other than just unrefined cane sugar. Then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of dairy-free chocolate chips, and I just buy this big bag at Costco. It's the Kirkland semi-sweet, I think, and they are completely dairy-free. Then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And then an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So now I'm just gonna mix these up, and you wanna make sure they're really well mixed up because you don't wanna have any pockets in it that are just, flour or cocoa powder. So just make sure it's nice and mixed up like that. So like I said, I would make all of these up ahead of time and then just set them aside. And when I'm ready to make the dessert, I'm just gonna add the last 3 ingredients. I know I said 2, but there's actually 3 wet ingredients that you wanna add at the end. So for our wet ingredients, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of applesauce to each one. And it's just plain unsweetened applesauce. And then you can add 1/4 to a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Just add as much as you like. I like a 1/2 teaspoon. We like more vanilla in our house. And then the last ingredient is plant milk. You can use whatever plant milk you like. If you like almond milk or oat milk, use whatever. I just happen to have soy milk, so I'm gonna put in 2 tablespoons of soy milk. And then again, you wanna mix it up really, really well. You don't wanna have any flour chunks in there because you don't wanna be biting into any. So just make sure it's really well mixed up. So now I'm gonna pop them in the microwave 1 at a time. And I like to cook them for 50 seconds because I like a cakier mug cake, whereas my husband prefers to cook his for 40 seconds because he likes it to be a little bit gooier. So if you wanna start with 40 seconds and then add 10 seconds, if it's too gooey, then you can certainly do that. All right, so I'm gonna set it for 50 seconds. So I just pulled this out of the microwave and I want you guys to see how good it is. But this is what I mean. I like mine a little bit more cakey, but then the chocolate is nice and melted inside. Look at that. It's so good. And then what I like to do is take the tiniest bit of powdered sugar in this little strainer and just tap it over. You guys can completely leave this off. I just feel like it gives a more Christmassy appearance. guys, so for gluten-free, I'm gonna use the same size ramekins. These are just 8-ounce ramekins. I think they're the perfect size. You can buy a pack of 4 of them at Bed Bath & Beyond, and I will see if I can find an Amazon link for you guys as well, and I will put that in the description box. Otherwise, you can just use a small mug. So for gluten-free flour, I really like this Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 because it doesn't have any chickpea flour in it. I think the chickpea or garbanzo bean flour that's in a lot of gluten-free flours gives the brownies a really funky taste, and I just don't like it. So this one is my favorite. I will link it for you guys as well. And if you can't find a chickpea-free gluten-free flour, you could always just use oat flour. And oat flour will be generally less expensive than these pre-made mixes and should work just as well. So we're just gonna do the same exact thing just with the gluten-free flour. Okay, now I'm gonna pop these in the microwave individually for 50 seconds each. And because this gluten-free flour has tapioca flour in it, it makes a really yummy, cakey and gooey mug cake when it's done at 50 seconds. So I'm gonna pop these in and then I'll show you how they come out. So here's the gluten-free one, and you can see how chewy and delicious that is. Look at that, it's so good. For these Snickers bites, it's really simple. All you're gonna need is some pitted medjool dates. So I just buy these already pitted, that way I don't have to pit them. And so all I've done is taken a knife and slit them down the middle so that I can open them up. So then the next thing I'm gonna do is put a little peanut butter on them. This is just peanut butter from Costco. It's the Kirkland brand. I like it because they don't add any extra oil or sugar to it. You can also find an oil-free one and sugar-free one at Whole Foods. So I'm just gonna put a little peanut butter in each one. So now what I'm gonna do is take some of those dairy-free chocolate chips that I melted in the microwave, and I'm just going to lightly drizzle each date with a little chocolate. Or you can put your chocolate in a little plastic bag and snip the end off, and that makes it a lot easier to drizzle the chocolate on. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is sprinkle them with some chopped, dry roasted salted peanuts. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for me today. Make sure you guys give these desserts a try and tag me on Instagram if you do. I hope everybody has a beautiful holiday. I know that this year is going to look really different for most of us, but all the same, I'm sending you all of my love and best wishes. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.